Hello and welcome to the summer 2026 session of American National Government at Illinois Central College. I'm Jonathan Parker, your instructor for the next 8 weeks. Now, the first order of business for the semester is to have the syllabus talk. I know that this is the most fun thing, that you will ever sit through ever, but we've got to do it because I've got to, according to the college, lay out the ground rules for you. So I'll try to be as quick and make this as painless as I possibly can. Here is my email address, jonathan.parker@icc.edu. All right. The only hang up we've had with that recently is people spell my name like that, put an H there, take the A out, and put the O. Long story short, look at e-services, look at the syllabus, look at my name on, your Canvas shell. My name is spelled correctly all over the place. There should not be any reason you're misspelling my name. All right, office hours. I'm not on campus. They're by request. All right, if you want to meet with me, I'm more than happy to do so virtually. Give me an email. Mr. Parker, can we meet via Zoom, Skype, Teams, whatever the heck you want? And the answer will 99% of the time be yes, unless I have a scheduling conflict that is unavoidable. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, reach out. And this is also something that is a misconception about teachers. We are not mind readers. I cannot read your mind, especially since for most of you, you are just going to be names on a computer screen for me. And that is one of the tragedies of online teaching, that I can't see faces and talk to you in a room. So I can't read minds. Most of you, I'm probably never going to talk to. You're not going to be anything more than a name on a computer screen. So if you don't say anything about needing help, I'm never going to know that you need help. I'm more than happy to assist. You've just got to take the initiative and let me know that you're confused and you need assistance. If you don't want to Zoom, email's the best way to get a hold of me. I try to get back within one business day of your inquiry. Weekends are not business days, so if you send me something on a Friday, don't expect an answer till Monday. All right, modality, it's an online anytime course description, general information. All right, here is the book. It is an open educational resource, meaning you do not have to pay 1 cent for it. So I'm not super techy, so this isn't the hyperlink. You've just got to hit control and click the link and it'll open up. So America, the User's Manual, 4th edition, you can just save it on your desktop. We'll be working exclusively out of it except for like 2 chapters. So, but you can also download it if you choose. Okay, it's not risky. It's a smaller press. I promise you, I've been using this book for years. America, the User's Manual. I would just download the PDF and save it on your desktop if I were you. That way, you're thinking ahead of any internet issues in case your internet goes out. You have the book. Or you can also order a paperback copy. I'm not shilling for this particular press, just putting that out there. But I always like having hard copies of texts myself. All right, so that is the book. These are recommended readings. We'll touch on some of these throughout the semester, like Washington's Farewell, Eisenhower's Farewell, and we'll look at a few of the Federalist Papers. But I would read them all. I mean, I'm assuming that 90% of you are in this class just because it's a requirement. a prerequisite for your degree or a required general education thing, but I've had some of you who have been genuinely interested in all of these things, especially the Civil War stuff, Thaddeus Stevens, the speech introducing the 14th Amendment, the Freedmen's Bureau bill. I mean, it's just good to know. It's interesting, it's informative, and I've curated a list that I think, if you have any sort of interest in government and politics, you might like. All right. So, of course, this is not me saying go read all this stuff. You don't need to do that. I mean, we'll have assignments about that. We'll have an assignment about this and about this, but other than that, it's up to you. So, course policies, email. Again, the quickest and most effective way to get in touch with me. Utilize my email address listed at the top of page 1 of the syllabus. Again, 24 hours is the goal. I fall short sometimes. I'm sorry in advance if I do. Just to truncate this paragraph, emails should be addressed to Mr. Parker. I know some colleagues let students call them by their first names. It's just never worked for me. So just Mr. I don't need Professor. I don't have a doctorate. I'm just plain old Mr. Parker. Please address me as such. Assignment submission. We'll turn everything in via Canvas. No Google Docs submissions will be graded. Google Docs submissions typically cannot be graded on my end because you guys forget to give me editing access. Academic citation etiquette. Whenever you turn in a written assignment, you are required to cite your source if you use a direct quote from a book, article, website. You paraphrase a chunk of text from the book, article, website, or C, you present a theory, argument, opinion that does not belong to you. It is okay. It is, in fact, appreciated to acknowledge other people's ideas, theories, or arguments. It takes time for all of us to develop our own original ideas. Essentially, providing correct citations allow you to show that you are borrowing from existing sources to develop your own answer. This is perfectly fine. Now, I'll just give you a personal example. I am finishing up a master's degree in history. I have a graduate certificate with 18 hours, which lets me teach the subject at the collegiate level, but I'm finishing up the complete Master of Science at Illinois State University. I took a class this past semester on basically the history of Qing-era China. I knew nothing about it. So you bet for assignments, papers, all that, I was writing and using quotes from books, articles, anything and everything. So, I don't expect you guys to be experts. We're all learners. We're lifelong learners. Just don't pretend that you came up with an idea that you didn't. All right. So at the end of your written assignment, you're required to provide a list of sources that you've utilized for the assignment. We will use MLA9 format for bibliographies and in inline citations for this class. The online class, unless I'm really misremembering, there isn't anything you're going to do that'll need an inline citation, but I might be forgetting a small assignment. But use the template in the following link to construct your bibliography. You don't have to use this one. I know there are 1,000,001 citation generators. That's just the one that I happen to use. So inline citations are also expected in any writing assignments that you turn in where you have used outside sources. Outside sources are defined as not the textbook. General guideline: if you have any doubts about whether something needs to be cited, please just create a citation for it. Don't take chances with your grade. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. Do not cite Wikipedia in any work that you do this semester. It will negatively impact your grade. How much will it negatively impact your grade, you ask? Well, that is a good question. I've docked half a letter grade for excessive Wikipedia use. I think that's been about the worst of it. Yeah, so please do not use Wikipedia. Academic misconduct, plagiarism. Page 24 of the Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook says this: based on the severity of the offense, the instructor may recommend failure for an assignment or failure for the course. Multiple instances of academic misconduct could include sanctions up to dismissal from the college. And this has been an issue every single semester that I've taught here. The first time I catch you plagiarizing, I will give you a 0 for whatever assignment you have plagiarized without the opportunity to redo it. And this includes any major writing assignments. In some classes, we do 50, 7,500 point writing assignments. We're not doing any this summer. The second time I catch you plagiarizing, I will fail you for the course. No exceptions to this will be made. So other types of plagiarism include copying or obtaining information from another student, contracting for original work with a third party, and generating or revising assignments with the aid of artificial intelligence tools that were not expressly authorized by the instructor. And again, just to spell this out plainly, the use of AI is strictly prohibited under all circumstances in this course. I am never going to okay the use of artificial intelligence for anything. Late submissions. I don't accept late work. However, and there's always a however, circumstances sometimes come up that prevent you from turning something in on time. I've arranged the class, so there's less of a reason for that to happen, but, it's still sometimes you get sick or somebody lands in the hospital or your basement floods or whatever. If a circumstance like that occurs, please make sure you talk to me and make sure that you have proof that what you said did happen, and I feel like a jerk for asking for proof, but students have been lying to me about why they haven't been turning in their work for years, and I've just started asking for evidence. If you come to me with an excuse like I went to a Taylor Swift concert last night, or I had other homework to do, you will not be turning in anything. That just shows a complete lack of respect for me and for the subject matter. And while I am very well aware, because I exist in the world, that American national government is not number one on your list of priorities, you can at least, pretend like it is. All right, statement on the use of artificial intelligence. And this is language from the college. In this course, you must create your own original work, writing, rendering, to be submitted for a grade. The use of artificial intelligence, including but not limited to language engines, text spinners, image creators, chatbots, etc., is prohibited at any stage of an assignment. Coursework that is found to be AI generated in whole or in part is subject to the following consequences: failure of assignment and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator with a first offense, and failure in course and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator for a second offense. Now, just to take some of the pressure off, I know some of my colleagues just look at the AI score off of Turnitin and go from there. I will open the file up and look at what has been written. There are only so many ways. For example, you can say, in this course, you must create your own original work to be submitted for a grade. Right? I'm not going to penalize you for something like that. So just keep in mind that I do look at the documents if they get flagged exceptionally high for plagiarism or AI. We have the standard 10-point grading scale, methods of presentation, completely asynchronous. There will be lecture-based videos thrown in throughout the semester. There will be a significant amount of discussion and participation included in the modules. Visuals, I'll throw in PowerPoints, videos, other than the videos I record. Other types of presentation styles might be incorporated later. Then here's how your grade's calculated. 3 tests. Test 1, 15% of the grade. Test 2, 20% of the grade. Final exam, 20% of the grade. Classwork, homework, 45% of the grade. Although I suppose I could call that just classwork since you're doing all of it at home. Or just, I don't know. Anyway, evaluation of student achievement. You will have at least one essay, most likely essay questions on a test. Mostly it will be essay questions on a test. And 3 unit exams. 1, 2, 3. meaning test 1, test 2, final exam. One of the other tests that is not the final may be an essay test. This is just the boilerplate language that they make me put on the syllabus. You will not be having an essay test. You will have classwork and homework as assigned. These assignments will always involve some form of writing. That they will. Here are news resources for you if you're interested. I've had this list, and it's been basically about the same since I've started. Some sources have shifted to the left and the right since I first curated this list, but anyway, they're all worth a look at, if for no other reason than you can click on them. Illinois policy being one example I'm looking at right here, and see if you can pick out the bias. You'll notice that the BBC also makes an appearance on here. Foreign news outlets, in my experience anyway, sometimes do a much better job at covering what's going on in our country than our domestic news media does. So we have quite a few services that Illinois Central College offers. I will not read all of these verbatim, except for the ones that I really need to. One being, if you are a student with a disability requesting reasonable accommodation for completion in this course, please contact Access Services at accessservices@icc.edu, or go to one of the offices on our East Peoria or Peoria campuses. Let me just put your mind at ease. I treat everybody for testing purposes like they have an accommodation, and everybody gets, what's my standard for the summer? 3 hours. Everybody will get 3 hours to take a test, so you don't need to seek out an accommodation on account of this class if this is the only one you're taking, because you all have it right now. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 as amended and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, the Access Services Office assists students in obtaining reasonable accommodations to access their classes and the campus. ICC offers support services to students with varying disabilities, including attention deficit disorder, health, physical, mental, psychological, sensory, learning, and temporary disabilities. Accommodative services and adaptive equipment are available based on individual student needs. Services include sign language interpreting, CART services, in-class note-taking assistance, adaptive equipment, textbooks on tape, enlargement or tactile graphing of papers, braille equipment and translation software, text reading machines, and special testing accommodations for classes, which again, I give everybody an obscenely long amount of time to take my tests, so you shouldn't need an accommodation just for that. The office provides, but I will say if you want to go get one, by all means, but you have it already. The office provides advisement and consultation to students. Tutoring for ICC students is done through various tutorial labs on campus, like the Writing Center. They are great. Reading, study skills, math, and learning labs. Students with disabilities seeking academic accommodating must provide written documentation of their disability from appropriate licensed professionals with recommendations for the types of accommodations needed. And none of you are going to be parking on campus on my account, so let's go down to counseling. If you find you need it, we offer it. It is brief, solution-focused counseling. They are excellent. The technology help desk. Now, this one I will pause at because one of the issues I run into in the summer is that because I teach an online course, students think that I am the technology help desk. I have absolutely no clue how to fix your laptop. I have absolutely no clue why Canvas is not working. If Canvas isn't working for you, Canvas is not working for me either. I've learned that. So these are the people to call at the Technology Help Desk. It's not that I don't want to help you, I just don't know how to help you with a bunch of these questions. These guys do. Career services, if you want advice about your career, these guys are world class. They really are. Makes academic success a habit. You can work with the Academic Support Center tutors. They are great. When I was in undergrad, I wish we had half the services that are available to you guys. So please take advantage of this stuff because, well, it's part of your tuition. You're paying for it, and we hire great people who want to help students succeed and go out of their way to make it happen. Course withdrawal. It is your responsibility to drop or withdraw from a course. Students who drop a class prior to the refund date will be refunded the cost of the course and it will not appear on their transcript. Students may withdraw from a course and receive a W on their transcript through the withdrawal date. Students who withdraw from a course are responsible for the full tuition and fees for that course. It is strongly encouraged that a student meets with an advisor before dropping a course, as a reduction in their credit hours could affect financial aid. It is strongly encouraged that a student meet with an advisor before dropping a course, as a reduction in their credit hours could affect financial aid. Students who miss several classes or assignments without contacting the instructor may be administratively withdrawn from the course due to non-activity. We'll talk about that a little later. To view specific refund and withdrawal dates, students can log into their MyICC account and check their class schedule. Please do. Then Title IX rights. We are dedicated to maintaining a safe and healthy educational and employment environment that is free from actual or perceived discrimination, sexual harassment, and sexual misconduct on the basis of sex, which includes sexual orientation or gender-related identity, under the Title IX of the Education Amendments Act of 1972. If you believe you have experienced or witnessed someone that has experienced misconduct, please contact our Title IX Civil Rights Equity ADA Coordinator at title9@icc.edu. All right, cultivating a community of care. We are committed to creating a community that affirms and welcomes persons from diverse backgrounds and experiences and supports the realization of their human potential. We recognize that there are differences among groups of people and individuals based on ethnicity, race, socioeconomic status, gender, exceptionalities, language, religion, sexual orientation, and geographical area. All persons are encouraged to respect the individual differences of others. No student is permitted to create a threatening, intimidating, or harassing environment in this course. Courses will be conducted in a safe and tolerant environment, and any person who detracts from that environment will be instructed to leave without the ability to make up coursework. Students with a discrimination complaint, please contact our Title IX Civil Rights Equity ADA Coordinator at title9@icc.edu. All right, commit to integrity, maintain integrity, don't cheat, don't use AI, treat others with respect, observe basically the golden rule, treat others how you would like to be treated, conduct yourself in a way that would make you and your family proud. All right, controversial issues and civility for reading and writing assignments, as well as discussion. Be prepared to possibly confront historical events, concepts, and beliefs which you may find controversial, disturbing, and potentially offensive. Describing, analyzing, and understanding such things does not mean we approve of them. In case of disagreement, maintain an attitude of civility and mutual respect. We all have a right to our own opinions, as well as mutual obligation to refrain from insults or hate speech, verbal or otherwise, that would impinge on others' rights to a safe, shared learning environment free of intimidation or harassment. Disagreements and debates are an essential part of higher education. The key is to challenge ideas intellectually rather than attacking people personally. I've been very fortunate. I've not had a big problem with this. I'm hoping this summer session is no different. All right, attendance policy. I can see on Canvas when you are logging on to class, okay? And I'll log on and show you what I mean. So Canvas, if I click on people, it will take me to a page with everybody's name on it, and next to everybody's name I can see which pages they visited, how long they've spent in the course. So, you know, if we get to the part where I have to drop people who have never logged on, and I suddenly hear from somebody who says they've been active and they've been doing the work and all that, and I look on this tab and find out they've never logged in at all, well, the computer isn't lying. So I don't know what to say to you at that point. All right. So attendance is defined as completing homework assignments, taking quizzes, as well as logging on to Canvas. Attendance is also kept for reporting purposes for when the college asks me to mark who the never attenders and non-attenders are. I just explained that. When it comes time for me to determine attendance, I will look at your activity on Canvas to see when the last time you logged in was and determine what you have turned in on Canvas. You cannot skip or stop logging onto Canvas and not turn in your work and expect to stay in and succeed in this course. Now that seems like a very obvious statement, but there are a whole lot of people who have come before you who have thought that they could. All right. This doesn't really apply to you guys, but 5% of classes missed during a semester constitute an excessive number of absences for a class and may merit being dropped. It's 1 week of classes. But again, it doesn't really apply to an online class. So I've had to drop students before and would not like to have to repeat the practice. You don't get into education to give people Fs, to kick them out of your class, to punish them for plagiarism. This is not why any of us became teachers in the first place. So, I've had to drop students and would not like to have to repeat the practice. I want you all, I think there are 24 of you right now. I want 24 of you in this class on July 24th. So just log into class, do the right thing. We're not going to have a problem. All right, so what constitutes academic activity? Well, this is academic activity up here, right? Submitting an assignment, also taking an exam, attending a study group, initiating contact with me to ask questions about the course. Examples of academic activity do not include logging into our Canvas page without doing anything. I can see when you do that too. Talking about the class with a friend, going to counseling, personal or academic. All right, you should, know how to do all these things. I'm not going to go through it point by point with you. Time commitment. This course has been designed to scaffold student learning and allow students the opportunity to build knowledge of our American national government and political system. Students are expected to work through the modules on time in order to achieve the learning objectives of the course. I think this will take you about 7 to 9 hours a week. I've not gotten pushback in the past when I've asked how long they've been students have spent on that. So the past iterations of this course have agreed it's about 7 to 9 hours. All right, I do not advise taking a test and then forgetting about the material. I've arranged this course so that one topic builds on another. You will be hearing and dealing with everything we study throughout the semester, especially federalism. That's like the foundational concept. So keep your notes and study. You will see test questions from the first test on the final, like about federalism. Hint, hint. You're not going to hear a thing from me if you don't do assignments, right? That's not the job of a college instructor, to chase you down and make sure you're keeping up with your work. So if you have to take some time away during the course, You must ask me, or if you have a friend you know who signed up for it, if anything you've missed that you need to make up. If you choose not to do this, you will see a lot of zeros on Canvas. A lot of them. All right? Summer is always fun because, God, one summer I had about 10 girls who had to go to, who disappeared on me for like 3 weeks to go to a bachelorette party in Cancun. And then they came back and wondered why they were getting not so great grades and demanded what I could do to fix it. And at that point, it was nothing. So you need to communicate. Like, if you're going to take a vacation, take time away, I mean, you need to tell me there needs to be a plan that you initiate about how you're going to make up the work. I'm not going to do it for you. If you find that you have any trouble keeping up with assignments or other aspects of the course, make sure you let me know as early as possible. As you will find, building rapport and effective relationships are key to becoming an effective professional. Make sure that you are proactive in informing your instructor when difficulties arise during the semester so that they can help you find a solution. I want to help you find a solution. In fact, I'm more apt to go out of my way to help you find a solution if I know who you are, right? If you are just not one of those students who are a name on my computer screen for 8 weeks. And that goes into, building relationships to become an effective professional. You will all need reliable internet access. This is the boilerplate language. And an ICC email account. I would hope you would know you would need reliable internet access for this. In order to complete this course, all ICC students automatically have an ICC email account. You must use that email address for this course. So take away here, keep an open line of communication with me. You'll be fine. You will learn something from this class, and you may even enjoy yourself. Stranger things have been known to happen. So I structure this course bi-weekly, meaning that you'll have 4 modules total. This is done in an attempt to help you. I know students, some spend the summer, catching up on credits or trying to get ahead. And I'm in a summer class here at ICC that'll start on June 1st as well. And I happen to know something is due every day. So making these modules bi-weekly, it's an attempt to help you have a little bit more time and a little bit more flexibility in getting your work done. Now, that doesn't mean wait until June 14th and do everything, although about 10 of you are going to do that right off the bat, right? Just because I give you 2 weeks to do all the work does not mean you should take 2 weeks to do all the work. I'm trying to give you a little bit more freedom, right? So all assignments posted in this module, which is weeks 1 and 2, are due on or before June 14th, and weeks 3 and 4. You'll have your first test. I only give a week for the tests, so they're only open for 1 week, June 15th to June 21st. The exam will cover all materials in units 1 and 2. So units 1, unit 2. Then everything else, chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, the presidency of the Supreme Court. I know it's a lot. It's just the nature of the beast. It's the 8 weeks. It's not me, it's the college. So all of this is due June 28th at 11:59. The test is only open for 1 week, from June 15th to June 21st, and then you have until June 28th to get the rest of it done. All right, weeks 5 and 6, test 2 will open July 6th and will close on July 12th. That test is the second half of the module because, Unit 5 wasn't there because I didn't want to, kill you with overwork. And I wanted you to have a chance to finish the module, finish the unit before you took the test. So Unit 5, then the test, then Chapter 10, Chapter 15, Amendments 1, 2, and 3. It seems like a lot. These three go really quick. All right, then everything there, July 12th at 11:59 p.m. I hope you're getting the pattern. Then weeks 7 and 8. All right, the amendments, I list them out individually. It's not as long or as daunting as it looks right here on this page. These two units together on domestic and foreign policy will probably take you more time than amendments 4 through 10. And then all assignments here are due on or before July 24th. Then the final exam, you have a week for that, July 20th, and it'll close on July 24th. The exam will cover just units 6, 7, and 8, as well as basic questions about our three branches of government. The dates for the final may change. I may give you a little more time for it. It just depends on how the summer progresses. So I've listed all the important dates. I hope you know that class starts June 1st, and then the never attended deadline, so you have until June 7th to log in and show me that you're here. The ad drop date, June 8th. It all happens really quick, I know, but it's 8 weeks again. Juneteenth, July 4th, which we're celebrating on the 3rd this year. These are our days off, which I know we all look forward to. And non-attender, July 10th, and the last day for a late withdrawal with my approval and the dean's, July 17th. Summer semester ends July 24th, and then it's a really quick turnover to get grades into the college, and those are due by July 28th. All right. So course policies are subject to change. I really try hard not to, but sometimes it's just unavoidable. All right. So I reserve the right to add or subtract from any part of the syllabus as the semester progresses. I will make every attempt to notify you of changes during regular class meetings through Canvas and or through email. I do the best I can with what I've got. All right. So thank you for sticking with me through the syllabus. There will be a syllabus quiz posted shortly after this.